here on campus. So can we give a little clap for that? So great to see you here. The students have been working really hard on their performances tonight. I just want to give you a quick overview of what the night is all about so that you can really know what to expect. The students were asked to find out what it means to be a hero. They worked on writing hero stories, looking at narratives of heroes, and then they were asked to find a notable, somebody who was a notable person to them. So they picked these notable people. They had to write a monologue as if they are that person, and then they really were asked to try and memorize it and give that speech as best as they could on their own. So one of the things I want you to understand is it's not just about the research, though the research skills were really important. It's not just about the writing skills, though the writing skills were really important. This is also about the performance skills, learning how to stand in front of a group, how to give that performance, how to be resilient when you forget what you're supposed to be saying. So there's a lot of things that we're celebrating with the students tonight. Students, I just want to give you a reminder. Whatever you do, it's going to be great. If you make a mistake, take a breath, ask us, could I please redo it? Okay, we see that every year. There's no problem in taking a minute to ask to start again. Okay? As part of the ambiance of the evening, I will be turning the lights down, and we have a spotlight, so it feels a little bit like the spotlight is on them and they're giving their performance. So I hope everyone is okay with the lights being turned down. We do have a list. I'll be calling the students in an order, and they will just come through the front. Students, sit on the stool, and then you can go ahead and get started. Any questions? Yeah.
Is it okay to take pictures or videos?
Yes, of course. You're welcome to take pictures or videos, but we do ask to not have the flash, just because it will be in their eyes and just fine. So you can take the picture after or before, but not during. Okay. Thank you. That was a good question. Alrighty. So, students. Our first student, we have Tanner Ellison, and you can tell us who you're doing. I can't read your name.
Hello, my name is Tanner Ellison, and I'm doing my monologue on Hilak Ons. Very few people know my name, yet one of my greatest contributions to this world is used nearly every day. Have you ever gotten a vaccine? Well, that's thanks in part to my creation of liquid helium. From a young age, I was interested in science. My parents encouraged me and helped me strive for greatness. I won a gold medal at the age of 18 for a competition in solving scientific problems. In my doctor's thesis, I had new proofs of the rotation of the Earth, which some call my introduction to my study of matter at cold temperatures. My biggest struggle was my studies in superconductivity. It took me many years to figure out how it worked and how to explain it. But when I did, I won a Nobel Prize in the year 1913. In my professional career, all of my greatest achievements have been for the betterment of mankind. All my achievements throughout my years, I am grateful for, yet I am most prideful of my family. Being a decent person, a loving husband, and a good father is what I strive to be.
Thank you very much, Tanner. Our next student is Valencia Dawson. Valencia, thank you.
Hello, my name is Valencia. I'm doing the monologue of Helen Tausig. Life. It's a beautiful thing. A child who's an extension of their mother and father. Many things inspire people to have children. One of those things is to have somebody else to love and care for. The baby blue syndrome, my life's work. Something that causes this beautiful mention of life to suffocate. My father, who I'm an extension of him, told me, Helen, being a doctor is no place for a woman. I prefer you to be a midwife instead. Life. Mothers and fathers can set you back from your most wildest dreams. One of the most precious things in life is to be able to help somebody from the aspiration in your heart. I hope to help every new life which comes in this world suffocate. Blue baby syndrome. It was named for the blue tone color of their skin. These children who died as infants and those that survived were confined to wheelchairs. With my cure of the calcium belloc shunt, I hope to save lives, setting free the wildest dreams of those mothers and fathers.
Sorry, everyone. I was trying to get a little bit. Okay, our next student, we have Yara Afman. Yara?
Hi, my name is Yara Afman, and I'll be presenting my monologue on Florence Nightingale. Many lives have been saved and taken, but mine has given me second chances over time, and now my life has ended. How very little can be done under the spirit of fear. Think of your fear. Did you know that was your fear before you experienced it, or did you have to experience it to know it was your fear? Did that have changed my perspective as a nurse, if I knew how dangerous it was? No. I walked down the hall with my lamp when no one even thought for a second to, and that's why I'm lady with the lamp. I fought through disease after disease, and that's why I'm a nurse. I suffered from a terrible illness from being a nurse. That didn't stop me. This is your fear. Deal with it. Instead of overcoming it, live with it. That's exactly what I did. My life was on the edge, and I never gave up.
Our next student is Yasa Diaz. You need a second. Okay. So Jadon Ramirez is the next student.
Hello, my name is Jadon Ramirez, and I will be performing the monologue by Juan Key. Dark World Life. There's a light that shines in this darkest world life ever. There is a light, somebody who can fix this darkness. Hello, I'm Juan Key, and I'm a grandmaster in Taekwondo. When I was young, I got bullied a lot, and people made fun of me for not being able to know how to fight. It's stupid. But if I take Taekwondo, I might accidentally be harmful on people when I don't need to be. And I might accidentally hurt my family. But I'm older now, and I have to get to my Taekwondo class. I can drive now. Now, should I take the shortest but kind of crowded route, or the longest but not so crowded route? It's so hard to decide. Hey man, hurry up setting up them boards. I got a class to teach in 3 minutes. Oh, hi, I forgot about this. Welcome to my dojo. Yes, I own a dojo now. Before I took Taekwondo, I felt endangered all the time. But now, I feel safe all the time. Thank you.
Okay, our next student is Alex Mayo. Alex? Just a minute, Alex. Students, just a reminder, when you are there, try to talk as loudly as you can. Okay, that way we can really hear you clearly.
Everyone needs friends in life, but not the ones that'll give them illnesses. That's what happened to my son, Todoroki. His symptoms progressed so quickly that his temperature shot up, and he began to have trouble breathing. He was in a terrible condition. He seemed so ill that I would remember worrying about what would happen to him. So my wife and I had to watch him day and night. We couldn't sleep. But day by day, the symptoms cooled down and he recovered. But after that day, I wanted to help the innocent from other. I wanted to help the other. Can I say?
Yes. Of course you can. Absolutely.
Everyone needs friends in life, but not the ones who'll give him illnesses. That's what happened to my son, Teruki. His symptoms progressed so quickly that his temperature shot up, and he began to have trouble breathing. He was in a terrible condition. So my wife and I had to watch him day and night. We couldn't sleep. He seemed so ill that I would remember worrying about what would happen to him. But day by day, the symptoms cooled down and he recovered. But after the day, I wanted to help the innocent from other diseases. I know there's one going around called the chickenpox disease. Hey, let's start there. Time passed and people all over the world have been knowing what I've been doing. Over the years, I've done it. Eureka! Yeah, I had an interesting life, but I died due to heart trauma. But I left this world knowing what it did to change people's fate in life.
Students, please remember if you want to come down. Our next student, we have Albert. Albert, you want to come?
Hi, I'm Aldrich Pelting, and I'll be doing Leonardo da Vinci. Oh, hey. Who am I? That doesn't really matter. The most important things you'll need to know about me is that I've practiced many disciplines and that I'm also a pacifist. Ah, you must want to know what disciplines they are. Painting, mathematics, science, architecture, engineering, music, anatomy, and I'm also an inventor. Though, most of them are just hobbies. I just wanted to learn. I didn't publish my notes. Fame? It didn't matter to me. I would keep doing my work even without people knowing. I have made a grave mistake. You see, even though I'm a pacifist, I had designed some military weapons. I truly feel regretful. So, to make up for my mistakes, I decided to purposely make mistakes in my notes. So, whenever my notes would be discovered, they would not have been able to recreate those machines of destruction I created. Huh? Tell them. Even I had to conceal my true self. You see, I am gay. I could not show my true self without being judged or even killed. Maybe it was repentance for designing those things, but since I was also discriminated against, I could feel sympathy for others who had also been discriminated against. Why do you persist? Why do you insist on knowing my name? These are the most important aspects about me. Pacifism, my disciplines. Here, I'll give you my notebook. Publish it on your own name. You'd be famous for your discoveries.
Alright, our next student is Jadon. Don't forget to
Hi, my name is Jadon, and I'm going to be doing a monologue on Eduardo Savin. So back in college, it was just me and Mark. And yes, that Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, I guess it was the other guy, Dustin Moskovitz, but we didn't really hang out much. I thought Mark was a cool guy. I mean, he could build computers, he was into the internet, all that stuff. Whereas I was more financial, investing kind of thing. I actually invested some money into oil futures when I was young. Made a ton of money. Anyways, me and Mark would have these, discussions. We're in college, so we talk about girls. So we had, which girl we thought was more cute and stuff like that. And one night we got into a really heated discussion. I mean, I remember us getting into it, and and Mark needed a second opinion. So instead of asking a roommate, like a regular person, Mark thought it'd be a great idea to make an entire website overnight. So what the website did was it got pictures of girls and had you choose which one you thought was more cute. Pretty simple. But the specialty was that the pictures of the girls were girls from Harvard. So it introduced a sense of exclusivity and made you feel like, it was special because you actually knew the girls that you were rating. Now the site blew up overnight, and that's when we knew we had something. Mark came to me and told me that there was a need for a social networking site at Harvard, and he wanted to make it. Though I can't say I'm surprised, I definitely didn't expect him to come to me for the money so quickly. I mean, I guess he knew I was rich, but I wouldn't consider myself to be a rich kid. Well, my family never really struggled with money. So I opened up a bank account and put $15,000 inside. And Mark named me CFO of his new company, the Facebook. And I was promised 30%. So we launched Facebook at Harvard, and it blew up, as we were expecting. And before we knew it, terms like Facebook me and what's your Facebook had already become parts of normal conversation at Harvard. And as we were expanding to more and more schools, I could tell Mark was getting invested in this. I mean, he was getting serious and he wanted to expand. He even talked about dropping out of school, which I thought he was, joking or kidding, because who would want to drop out of Harvard, right? But, I found myself talking to him and Dustin about, moving to California maybe to pursue this. I didn't really want to go to California. It wasn't my thing. So we decided, Mark and Dustin could go to California to find investors, and I would go to New York to find advertising. Looking back at it today, I realized that this was the moment, my big mistake, the mistake that would lead to cause me to lose $130 billion. So I went to New York, and one thing you got to understand about New York is that it's like the Hunger Games. I mean, it's a true fight for survival out there for small businesses and companies like Facebook. I mean, everyone's looking for an investor, an advertiser. Everyone's looking for all of that, and I was really struggling to find some opportunity. Though I was keeping updated with Mark, and he was telling me how I was going to California, and one day he told me he found an investor, and I was like, sick, that's great. For a small company like Facebook to find an investor, that's really good. But as he told me about this investor, I sort of got a bad feeling. I felt like something was off. I got a bad vibe from it. I mean, his name was Sean Parker, and it kind of felt like, the more and more as time went on, it felt like me and Mark, when we were texting, it felt like I wasn't talking to my college friend anymore. It felt like we'd just become coworkers, not, buddies, not friends like we used to be. I mean, me and him used to spend sleepless nights just, working on Facebook, developing the site in our dorm room. Those were the days, right? I mean, me and him just working in our dorm room on Facebook, was our passion. But, when Sean came into this, I felt like that changed. I mean, this kept up, and he kept blaming me for things I wasn't doing, and turned small problems into big deals. And it just felt like, our friendship, our relationship, it turned toxic. And, one day I went to go sign papers, as you do as CFO, and I saw my ownership of the company was less than 9%. So, I called up Mark because it had to be a mistake, right? But no, I mean, he just flat out told me, on the phone, that, he didn't even do it in person. Like, for this kind of thing, you have to say face to face. I diluted your shares from 30% to less than 9%. But no, he didn't even have the courage to do that. He called me on the phone and told me. And I was sick to my stomach. I mean, I was effectively out of Facebook. Today, I go to Facebook, and I look up Facebook founders on Google, and pictures of Mark, pictures of Dustin, pictures of Sean. They're all in their suits, they're feeling good. They're at the photo shoot. I'm sure they're rich, they're happy. You can see it on their faces. They're excited. But there's no pictures of me, Eduardo. On the Facebook website, you go to founders, Dustin Moskowitz, Mark Zuckerberg, Sean Parker. But there's no Eduardo. I spent sleepless nights. I mean, I spent my $15,000 I started the company with, my sleepless nights, my hard work, my time, and I was enjoying it. I had fun, I love making this company with Mark. It all got erased. It's all deleted now because Mark just booted me out. I was out. When Mark came to me with the idea of Facebook, I knew this was going to be big. I knew this Facebook would be an empire. Everyone would be using it. Everyone would have it on their phone. Everyone would be engaged in it. What I didn't know was that I wasn't going to be a part of it. Thank you.
Our next student, we have Valencia.
This is ridiculous. About women having no right to vote. It's not fair. Why? Just why? If only I were president, I would give women the right to vote. Just only if I were president. If only I were a man. Well, guess what? None of that will matter one day. If women will gain the right to vote. My journey to making the world see this change started, I guess, when I was born. I don't only like to write and read. I love it. I went to 3 different types of schools. I became a teacher, an author, and with my corporate values, I also became a crusader for women's rights in the United States. Tomorrow I'll give my big speech. I hope women from all over come to hear me. Hope men understand we are not their property. We are more than mothers, more than wives. What should I say? I know. I declare to you that women must not depend upon the protection of men, but must be taught to protect herself. And there I take my stand. I realize this thinking is so beyond what a women are raised to believe, but also see us in governments. I see us doing odd jobs like man. I see us as presidents of the United States. I met a woman today, Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Together we are going to create the National American Woman Suffrage Association. We became a powerful and inseparable, passionate force about the right of women to participate in the movement. The 19th Amendment was ratified. We did it. We finally did it. Women have the right to vote. Can you imagine? I look forward to the future, and one day maybe women will be on the Senate floor, sitting as a vice president, as president. Perhaps I will have my face on something valuable too. I know it's all dreaming, but dreams often come to reality.
That was Susan Dean. Next student is Charlotte.
Hi, my name's Charlotte Burnett, and I will be doing my monologue on Joan Gann's Cooney. What was that? That's a great idea, Big Bird. There should be a television show that's meant for kids. Nowadays, all kids do is sit around watching, let's say, beer commercials, and they go walking the street singing them. They're just kids. They should be singing songs that aren't about beer, right? An idea I have is, what if we make it educational? That way, the kids who are more disadvantaged and who can't go to school can have a way to learn their basic numbers and ABCs. It would be a great way to help them. We can make it a happy, colorful show to entertain them and keep them engaged. I don't know, guys. That doesn't seem like the best idea. I mean, me, produce the show, a woman, what would people think? Well, I guess the real question is, what would the kids think? I mean, it is a show to help kids, not other people. Who cares what they think? I graduated from the University of Arizona and have worked in the production business for many years now. So, what's stopping me from making this show? Nothing.
2 boys. Oh, I didn't know that you.
All right, so we get a grand entrance, so just a second. All right, so our next student is Davina Grayson, and she's doing Agnew Day.
Agnew Day was said to be Athens' first female physician. She dressed up as a man to help a woman during childbirth. Male physicians accused her of seducing her own patient, leading to her appearance in court where she revealed herself as a woman. Athenian law changed after this case to have the appearance of women during childbirth. I was born in 300 BC. When growing up, I always stopped to ponder about learning about medicine. I wanted to pursue it as a career, but the only problem was that it had been completely blocked from studying about it, let alone practicing medicine for women slaves. So in order for me to learn about medicine, I had to travel to Egypt, Alexandria, dress up, and cut my hair very short and masculine-like to disguise myself as a man. I found this so unethical and so unfair. But you know what? It was the only thing that could have been done. When traveling to Alexandria, I came across a man named Heropolis and asked him if he can take me as his trainee to teach me about medicine. Luckily, he took me as his trainee, teaching me about medicine under the influence that I was a man. Once I completed my training, I then met with my first patient and offered to assist her with the delivery of her baby. She then declined my offer because I appeared as a man. So I then unclothed myself, revealing my sex to prove that I was indeed a woman. She then permitted me access to treat her during delivery of her baby because she knew that she was safe with me because I was a woman. I began to attend all my patients this way, to show them that they could trust me, I'm trustworthy, and I won't hurt them. Soon after, meanwhile in Alexandria, suspicion grew. Suspicion grew from men in the borderline community that have been growing suspicion over my success because I noticeably became most in demand by women. I noticed men were discriminating me and treating me differently from the crowd just because I was getting more patients than them. Later on, I was seen in the courtroom because they tried filing charges that I seduced my own patients, even though I didn't. So I was seen in court, seen by things I didn't even commit. So then, the only thing I had to do to show as a defense was to unclothe myself in front of the whole courtroom, revealing who I really was. But then it was only foreshadowed by, of course, the judge and the man of the courtroom. I don't know. It was only for it to be foreshadowed because I was breaking the law, because I was dressed up as a man, even though I was a man. But at the end of the day, patients I did help in the end with their babies, they had my back in that courtroom. They were telling the judges, hey, you over there, you're the enemy and I'm not. All of them were having my back during the whole time. But I would not back down from this case. Men were so threatened in this courtroom because of this new doctor, aka me, that they even tried using filing the same stuff that, oh, you're a woman, you can't do that. This is only for men, not for you. But I stayed strong. I became victorious in the end to my case, and later on, the government changed Athenian law so women could have the domination of midwifery in Athens. So domination to all.
Our next student is Enrique. introduce your person.
My name is Enrique Piles, and I am going to be presenting a monologue as George Lucas. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a legend was born about a boy from a distant desert planet on a farm who would change the galaxy forever, who would fight back a tyrannical empire with the powers of the Force. That is the legend of Star Wars. Hello, I'm George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. But my movie endeavors did not start with Star Wars, surprisingly. The first movie I've ever made was THX 1338. It was a movie. It was a good one at that. And that led me to make my own company, Lucasfilm. Then I made a movie called American Graffiti, and I won a Golden Globe for it. After that, I started writing the movie Star Wars. I founded a company to help make it, Sprocket Systems, or now known as Skywalker Sound. Star Wars had a rocky process to getting on the big screen. A lot of people turned it down, but Fox did take it in, and it proceeded to break all existing box office records. I bet all those companies who turned me down are regretting it right now. After that, me and Steven Spielberg made Indiana Jones, which also broke box office records. After that, I took a break, but then came back to make the Star Wars prequel trilogy. And everyone hated it. But it did make money, so it was a success. And I mean, now people like it, mainly due to the new Star Wars movies out, but whatever. After that, I sold Star Wars to Disney. I'm not going to say that was a good decision, but I mean, I did it. And then that's basically where my Star Wars journey ended. Along the way, I did make other things, like Star Wars The Clone Wars, which I mean, people love that show. Coming from me, I guess. Maybe biased. But, I mean, even if my journey did end on a sour note, it was a successful one. It was a successful one. And I'm happy with that. And, well, today is a very special day, and I can actually say